That button. Hit that button. Hit that button, man. Let's get in here. Let's get in here. How's my volume? My son be coming in here, man. He fuck with my buttons, so if I'm off, just let me know, man. If it's too low, too loud, whatever. Today we got a little show, man. Look, we got to keep this content rolling. We got to keep this content rolling. You dig? Salute everybody in the building. Todd Green, what up? Lamont Grant, what up, brother? Yeah, man. Let's go, man. Let's get it. We talking about false news, fake news, internet hate, this dog game as a whole. Will working man's price, will working man's puppy price rise in 2026? And everybody think that most people think like you're worried about what somebody else is, you know what I'm saying? I think they missed the whole point of why, in my opinion, after we had the last show, it was unanimous that, in my opinion, because I'm thinking logical, right? That if you're trying to build a program, if you're, just the overall outlook about this breed and the lack of education that we got about this breed and the new people getting in that don't know much and everything, man, look, man, there's got to be, that's how you weed out the bullshit, bro. I'm trying to tell you, people could, and it's mostly the bullshit. It's mostly the bullshit. I'm telling you, the people that's on bullshit can't be trusted, can't, that agree with a lot of this shit. And then it's a lot of pick me motherfuckers. Right. We got a lot of pick me APBT ass motherfuckers. They just want to comment some shit just to go with the flow. Just, the whole get along gang type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? Them puppy prices, it's it proves how much, I'm not gonna say there's not good guys in this game, because there are, it's far and few, right? Good guys, stand-up guys. But the level of scum that's in this, like, I would be doing the game a disservice if I didn't let you know that right away. If that wasn't the top 5 things I told you to watch out for in this game, right? And it shows. It shows just the attitude in the community, everything. Mr. Salute Mr. Floyd Bujo, man. He's on a thumbnail. They threw my guy under the bus. And I don't know him. I don't know him. It seems like dudes, they waiting on you to die, bro. I remember, we kind of waited around, like, we're gonna keep a dog or something until the dad dies, but they waiting on the owner to die nowadays, man. They want you to die, bro. Like because I saw 100, no, not less than 100 posts, bro. Just like, bro, he ain't even dead. He ain't even dead, bro. You don't have no reliable source or nothing, bro. Don't call and check. I mentioned this to somebody in the back street. They didn't hear nothing about it. I said, man, you hear something about this, man? Because I just saw it. It was like a firestorm on the internet, right? Then you see his family, you know, the people that's by his side, bro. Not the people that just want to say his name, you know, just want some clout for today. What we got, man. You know, this low level, low frequency individuals, bro. You know, only thing they ever accomplished in their motherfucking life was in motherfucking dogs. Never did shit for nobody's community, never did a motherfucking thing, bro. You got to watch out for that, bro. You know, I don't give a fuck who if you stay to yourself and you do, you know, you don't bother nobody, you know what I'm saying? If you're not doing nothing for your community, you're not trying to accomplish nothing outside of the dogs, brother. You're going against the grain, man. You're going against what God put you on this green earth to do, bro. I'm just saying, you know, it is what it is. You know, go kick a wire under the car. If you don't like it, go kick a fucking wire under the car. You know, how about that? Salute to that brother that asked him that question in the chat. I'm gonna give you a free magazine. I forgot who you are. I screenshotted that shit. When I find it, I'm gonna give you a free magazine, brother. That was right on. Because that's what everybody should be asking, right? We need to weed out individuals that are not stand up. Period. You know, you just can't go through your days and weeks and months and years and decades just disrespecting and jumping on people and doing, you know, it just doesn't work like that, brother. You're not helping out anybody, right? You got to reach back, help out when it's needed, help out in the community. Help create that positive light that we always wished for, that we're just not getting, bro. I'm sorry. As much as I get on here and I be feeling like I'm doing something some days, you know, I get up off here, I be like, yeah, you know, somebody gonna take that and yeah, they gonna run with that. You know what I'm saying? And then I look up the next day, it's more dumb shit. Right. Like why are we crying about $500 puppies, bro? Why would anybody find it offensive that a so-called fucking community, that's why I always watch out when I say that word, right, is encouraging low level, you know, like there's nothing required from this $500 puppy. Oh, so now what does he have to be? Off of this, he has to be, you know, all these $500, now all these characteristics, and we need all this extra shit, right? It just baffles me, brother. How all the other breeds, they get the bag 3,500, 25, 10,000, right? 5,200. You know, some of you never sold a dog for that. Some of you never got the bag and you're never going to get the bag. Your kennel is going to be at the fucking bottom forever. I've seen lines destroyed because people sold them too cheap. Nobody valued that shit. It's just another $300 dog, right? When you start putting that tax on that shit, people value that motherfucker more. You know, everybody could get mad and all of this. You know, look, I don't care about all that, man. I don't care about all that, man. 500 ain't enough, brother. $500 ain't enough because once I put a shot in the dog, that means I'm getting under 500. Let's start tallying it down. Okay, let's start tallying this shit down. You know, let's tally some of this shit down. So, you know, you only gonna give me 500, right? You only gonna give me 500 for the fucking pup. You know, yeah, that's all I can get, right? So we're gonna see if this shit adds up. So you gonna give me 500 for the fucking pup. How much is this dog supposed to eat until like 12 weeks? How much food is this dog going to eat? You guys got to help me out. You guys going to have to help me out, man. How much is the wormer going to be? How much are we spending on this dog, brother? Because we got to go through this shit. Okay. And this is plain economics. People need to know this shit. Not to mention, transporters charge $400 to fucking $700 for a transporter. Okay. Them $300 transports, they out the window. Ain't nobody doing that unless they already going in that direction. Or you do a whole lot of volume in dogs and you got a whole bunch of stuff, right? So what are we spending on this puppy, bro? How much is this dog eating? Because I only got a $500 budget because somebody wants to think that it's cool to sell dogs for $500. This is why the low level treatment and the low everything is low. Right? He might skip a shot. He might not even give the dog the shot. Oh, I got to give him 2 shots. Damn, I'm giving him 3 shots. I'm worming this motherfucker every other week. Come on, bruh. Time and effort every single day. What's that worth to you? To clean out a puppy pen every single day, how much is that worth to you? Okay. And I don't want to hear nobody say, you know, oh, I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? We didn't ask that because you got guys that think that it's cool, right? He said he sold puppy for $500. Hey, man. And we all have. I sold one for $500. You feel me? We all have. But the question is the working man price gonna go up or is the APBT gonna just be at the bottom forever, bro? Let's answer that question. You know, that question is very relevant, man. You know, these dogs, all they can do, everything that these dogs can do, right? Athleticism, everything. Snatching up these big old hogs, you know. We about to start getting some of that. I like that content right there, boy. You want to get them big hogs, man? I want to get out there now. I seen some shit, man. That was on. It was on, man. That's all I needed to see. And they doing that all the time, right? But they worth $500 and you gonna go breed his ass. Most of the time when people sell pups for $500, it's all for somebody else's hard work. They're not generations in that shit, because if they were generations in that shit, if that shit was any good, they wouldn't be wanting to sell it for that cheap. Like, you know, these dogs is good. Like, wait a minute. Like, why would I do that? Why would I sell you a franchise type of dog for $500 when I got to feed this motherfucker? I got to give him 2-3 shots. I got to clean him up every single day for 3 months. Right? You might as well say that's 100 days. You know? So what? At $10 a day to clean the cage? What is that? So that's $1,000 right there for the litter. So if I only have 2 puppies, I'm fucked, because $10 a day to clean that motherfucking cage for 100 days. Okay. Then I got to feed them every day. How much are they eating? Okay. What they eat? $5 a day for a litter? Is that fair? The litter eats $5 a day or $10 a day? What is it? Because I want to do the math. I want to do this quick math right here, so we can see how many pups do you even have to cover your ass at $500, right? You go get the case of shots. If you go get the regular shots, you got 6 puppies, 7 puppies. You add over $100 right there just for one round. So you getting 2 rounds. That's another couple $100 right there. Right? It's another couple hundred. You know, that shit, them pups shit. You know, you looking at them motherfuckers, you like, damn, let me count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn. At that 500, you know, $10 a day, 100 days, that's 1,000. That's 2 of the puppies gone. Right? You do the 2 rounds of shots, that's 7 of them. The round, I mean, unless you go to and get the 25 case, I mean, you paying. It's going to cost you, bro. And you got to feed them every day. So you might only profit off of 2 of the pups, maybe. All that motherfucking work. And then the transporter pull up and he make his right off the top. He make more money off of your shit than you. Then they gonna bug you for the motherfucking papers. Right? You got your motherfucking address on that shit. You know that, yeah, you know, you being so discreet and shit. You know, this, you know, you think you so discreet. You know, you all acting like you know, you ain't discreet. They got your motherfucking address. They can get the P.O. box and find out whose box that is, bro. That's not, you know, it's not hard to do, bro. Especially if you're law enforcement, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. And P.O. box, you're not hiding with that shit. That'll keep dudes from weirdos pulling up to your shit, right? Or your address, your vital information getting out there. So what is we just selling them without the papers? It could be anything. What is it? What's the measuring stick? What could we measure this off of? You know, you said cost about 1,000 for a litter of 7. Okay. 50-pound puppy food, $50. But shit, them motherfuckers, I'm telling you, when they get over, let's say 6, 7 weeks, bro, them motherfuckers can eat, man. They'll run through a bag, bro. Them puppies will run through a bag, bro. You know, that's why I done gave out more pups than I done sold because I just refuse to disrespect the line like that. It's pointless. The best guys that's gonna fuck with you, they're gonna be the guys that's paying that bag, bro. They could afford to have the dog. If you don't got 1,000, you don't got 1,500, 2,000 to drop on a dog. You, to me, that's telling me that you don't really want. You're not buying what you want. You're buying what you could pay for. Because if you was buying what you want, it wouldn't matter the price. Right? It wouldn't matter the price. You really didn't like that dog. That's not really the bloodline that you really run. That's not how this shit would have worked out if you would have had that bag, brother. When you build a yard on a budget, that's what your motherfucking dog's gonna be. Low budget. Low budget dogs come from dog men who think they can build a yard on a budget. What if they want to raise you on a budget? Right? What if you didn't get your essentials? Camel toes in the chat. Camel toes in the chat. Let me guess, he don't want to call in today. He don't want to call in. You know. Old camel toe. You feel me? Look. Smash that like button. We trying to get it in. We talking about how we can actually bring this community up, bro. This don't have nothing to do with somebody peddling trying to sell puppies, bro. This has everything to do with the price of everybody else's shit in the community and the way that people respect those dogs and they disrespect these dogs. And I see why. You're not paying nothing for them. You're just chaining them up in the backyard, and you know nobody cares about them. These dogs, the way we look at it, it's like we don't care about them, bro. That's the way it's looking. I'm not saying you don't. I'm not trying to sound like a tree hugger, right? I'm not trying to do none of that. But if we got this big uproar about people being mad, because it's like, I don't know, dog. It seemed like motherfuckers was mad that the food stamps was about to turn off. The snap. Bro, I'm not trying to be funny, bro. Look, give me an EBT card, right now. I go up in that motherfucker. Oh, I'll drop the link. Hold up. I'll gladly drop the link. I want to see Custer Face call in. Call in, Custer Face. Camel toe. Hammer to the nail. No, your name is Camel Toe, motherfucker. Camel Toe. Hey, man, look, man. You know what we doing over here. You know what we doing. Smash that like button. Smash that like button, man. This ain't just a magazine. It's a movement. The American Pit Bull Terrier. Real dogs, real yards, real history. From legendary bloodlines to modern breeders, keeping the flame lit. Yard spotlights, breeding knowledge, controversy, culture. This is for the ones who walk it like they talk it. No fluff, no fakes, just dog man, dog woman, and dogs. Grab your issue now, support the culture. Because the legacy don't live online, it lives in print. Yeah. Calypso, what up, brother? He said 2,000 is cheap in the overall dog world. These dogs should go for 2,000 all day long, at least. Come on, bro. And that's not like a sales pitch, bro. That's crazy. How would you even bro, I don't even want nothing that's worth $5. If you give me a dog and I raise that motherfucker up and he's only worth 500, like I'm looking at this motherfucker and I'm like, yeah, he's worth 500. Damn, that's terrible. I want to sell you a dog that is priceless, right? When you get this animal, the lineage, the tracking this shit, doing all this, going through all this shit, to give you this diamond, this motherfucking diamond, bro. That's priceless. That's what a breeder is. That's what a breeder should be. All you dudes just trying to sell pups for 500, you're not a fucking breeder. You ain't no breeder. You just breeding shit. There's a difference between being a breeder and just breeding shit. You know, and I sold dogs for 500. I told you I given away more dogs than I sold to good people that swear to stand by and fucking uh protect the breed, continue the lineage so that we won't have all these eggs in one basket. You know, that's the concept. Because you never know. Somebody's dog could get the illness could come through there. The virus could come through and get his yard. But you had two of those litter mates across the country, right? The virus wasn't over there, right? Or the law came through. Or in South Carolina, when somebody said that they saw some dogs and and then law enforcement got into it, they just took a whole bunch of dogs, right? Some of those dogs could have been the descendants of bloodlines that we'll probably never see again. It happens every day. So you're not buying a $500 dog. And if that's all you think the dog is worth, and if you never had a priceless dog, then you don't understand what I'm saying. You know, you can be easily persuaded and bought. Right? You wouldn't have to sell them so cheap if they were good, because people will be kicking your door down trying to get them, and you would right away understand that your dogs are worth more than what they are. If they were that good, you would say, yeah, they $500. Somebody say, man, let me get two. It'll be conversations like that. You'll get somebody, man, they 500, man, I'm gonna give you 1,000, bro. I really like these dogs. I really want you to hold my dog and take care of him, make sure he's fat. Give me the best one you think is good for me. I'm gonna give you 1,000, brother. Them dogs is worth way more than 500. Those are the type of conversations that you'll have if your dogs were that good. He said, how can a puppy be a cur? Ronald Z, bruh. I don't know, bruh. Maybe you could answer that. Maybe you could call in and answer that, brother. You know, um, some dogs, I guess they just curs when they're born. Just born a cur, but you just haven't technically curred out, but you probably still a cur, just nobody knows it. So like I don't know, bro. Those are some questions, I'm not really up here for that. I'm here for the preservation of the breed, the respect, the image of this breed, right? The image that goes out. They said the dog is in a rabbit hutch. They was like, yeah, the dog was in a filthy rabbit hutch. I'm here for that. No, that's not a rabbit hutch. That's a safe environment for some of these dogs to be kept in, to keep them out of harm's way. Like, say what it is. Don't just try to throw that, all that negativity out there. And then, of course, we don't have nobody that's going to stick up for us. We don't have nobody. Mike Dan, what up, brother? You know, get it in, y'all. Hey. Um, Yeah. Yeah, man. My whole room defending me from my animal abuser. You know, you could call in and we could have that conversation. This isn't about animal abusing. This is about, people get a second chance at making the right decisions. That's what it's about. And while we won't get into the particulars of the case, um, I think it's only right to extend this invitation. And if there's something that you want to get particular about, just be a man and call in. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. What's your name? What's your name? Old school original, old family reds. What's your government name? Let's see if you got something on your history, right? One of you guys is dog man. I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm sure it's gonna come out soon, but I seen one of the dog man got arrested for child abuse. One of y'all's favorite channel got arrested for child abuse, assault on a child, bruh. Now, unless you want to make that make sense, because I know how you dudes do. You guys care more about dogs than you care about actual human beings. And that's where the line gets drawn with me. You know what I'm saying? That's when I say, damn these dogs, to hell with the fucking dogs. If we're talking about humanity, innocent children being harmed, and then we got douchebags that are scared to call in because they're just a beta male, right? He said, you believe many of us are about that. I believe you're a tree hugger type of dog, man. The game doesn't need tree hugger type dog man like you, bro. They need stand-up individuals like me. That's what the game is lacking. We're not lacking tree hugger beta males like you. Yeah, we can't get your name because we know that you got smut on your name, brother. You probably got some child abuse charges and shit on your record right now. See, they'll get on you. They'll talk about a shitty kennel, but they got domestic violence. They punched a whole bitch in the mouth and went to jail for it. But they'll hit you up and say, "Hey, you need to clean that shitty kennel." No, you need to clean your whole life, homie. You need to clean your whole motherfucking life, homie. Right? You know? So that's what the low frequency is in this game. These are the same dudes that they'll make a post and say you're dead, and you're not even dead, bro. You know, I mean that's just crazy. It's just crazy how dudes move in this community, bro. Yeah, you're typing too much and not commenting, bro. I mean, not calling in. You're not calling in, bro. We're gonna put his ass in timeout. Yeah, you in timeout for a minute. You in old school, original, old family red. You in timeout, bruh. We gotta put your custer ass in timeout, bruh. Sometimes you gotta put some dogs in timeout, man. He said, anybody ever got a dog from Chino McNabb? Chino McNabb. Oh, Casino Life. Shit, Casino just got in the dogs last year, didn't he? He probably ain't breeding no dogs right now. You know, look, some people take pride in their shit, bro. They want to perfect their craft before they get out here selling pups. You know? Calypso, man. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, man. Yeah, take down a coyote or something. Hey, man, I feel you, brother. Now we deal with the trolls, man, but they don't want to even call in. You just want to spam the chat. Like, come on, bro. Like the link's right there. Call in. I'm not gonna censor you. We're gonna have a good conversation. It's simple. You don't have to be scared, man. This could be the first day that you actually got some courage and shit. Like you feel good about that, you know? But we gotta stop spreading false news. It just puts a damper in the game, man. Mr. Floyd, he's up there in age, but his family, they deserve an apology, and I apologize because I know dudes ain't gonna have the balls to apologize. So, fuck it, man. I apologize on the behalf of everybody that put out that fake news, man. That's just something that people just giving up on you, man. That's bad energy, bro. Instead of getting on your knees and praying that this man will pull through, you just got on your mobile app and fucking threw him under the bus, bro. And that's I'm gonna go ahead and say it's indicative to the type of low frequency dudes that are in this community, bro. Hey man, Calypso, man, for sure, man. He said, I'm going to let walkabout pups go for 500 in the future. you know, hey, look, just be cautious because I'm not saying this for a sales pitch. I'm saying this because we need to value the dogs more, and when people pay more, they tend to value the dogs more. Um, our dogs are not priced just a little bit under, let's say, a French bulldog, or those dogs. Like those people that actually sell dogs for money, like they wouldn't even get into these dogs because the spreads are just not there. Like even at 1,500, 2,000, bro. Like for a bully guy or a fucking, like that's literally nothing for them. You know, it's laughable. you know. So you get a lot of people that just get the dogs and they don't care. Your stud fee, your price of your dogs, everything that people do is if you need to check history, a lot of people, I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people base their price off of what they paid for the dog. Some people, very rarely will somebody get a $2,500 dog and then breed it and then sell pups for $500. 9 times out of 10, if he's selling dogs for $500, it's because he got them for dirt cheap, or he got them for free, or what I'm saying, it was some shit that he bred, what I'm saying. But if those are good dogs are needed because people are buying trash dogs every single day. So many dog men are frustrated with the breed, and that's why so many dog men, even old dog men, are complaining. I feel why you guys are complaining now. because I was in my own bubble where people actually value the dogs, value the breedings, value putting quality stock together, value preserving things, giving somebody a priceless dog, not a dog with a price tag on it. He said, how much you pay for Mike? Mike was thousands. Mike was 5 figures, bruh. You know, that's what, you know, that's all you need to know, brother. You feel me? It was a super bag and pieces. It was a bag and pieces. You know, it's 5 figures, brother. You feel me? And I paid 2,000 for puppies off of Mike before I even got Mike. I was paying 2,000 for puppies because it was like that. Just to be honest with you. And this isn't about selling this or doing that. It's not about that. We put a question out there. Name a dog that was for $500 that built a mega legacy, that built a huge legacy that we can all say, yeah, man, that dog, he was a good dog. He's producing good dogs, this kennel, you know, like a legacy type of dog that we could see. Hey, he produced this dog, that dog, this dog, you know, and don't go back 20 years. Can't nobody never answer that question. Right? We could always say, yeah, I know somebody who bought a dog for $500, or those $500 dogs are better than those $2,500 dogs. Okay, well, name the top 10 dogs of today, and you tell me how much them dogs cost, and they're not $500, right? We get the top 20 dogs of today, and you look at how much them dogs cost, they're not $500. So make it make sense. I wish I had some help here. Make it make sense. We do it for the love of the game and dog. Hey, salute, Lamont Grant. Hey, that's what it is. That's what it's about. The love of the game. And when you love the game, you want to put them in good hands. You put them in some $500 dog hands, them dogs going to be everywhere, man. They expendable. You know? They expendable because it wasn't nothing. You didn't, it's not a major investment. You know? I remember I had that crow bitch, that bitch off of Grand Champion Osiris I imported from Ecuador. Clearly 4-5 bands. I can't remember how much she was. You know, clearly 4-5 bands. Easy for that puppy. Okay. And I'm not stunting, you know, but I had that bitch. Shit. That bitch shitted out a little bit of red spot. Shit. Boy, I'm telling you, it hit different. It hit different, man. That shit hit a little bit different. You know, you tend to be more on it. Like, man, hold up. Might take this bitch to the vet. You know, them $500 dogs, we just gonna go get some of this motherfucking safeguard or something. And I didn't take her to the vet. But you get what I'm saying, man. He said, cap, buck, big cap. Man, I don't know how to cap, bro. I don't know how to cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I gave up a dog. My partner told me, don't even give up. He said, man, fuck Mike. You got him right there. He was like, shit, Mike's getting old, you know. You past 6 years old, 7 years old and shit, you know, that, you know, you getting in your, you know, past your prime, you know. But I remember that Conway dog I didn't buy. I could have bought that dog for $1,500. I passed him up, man. I went for the younger son. I had some shit going on, went for the younger son, and ended up dropping everything, man. You feel me? Salute, Lloyd Boudreaux. Yeah, hey, the three bands, man, it'll get you it'll get you in the dough. Because you feel obligated. Like, let's say you paid 3 bands and that puppy didn't work out. Well, see, the way that deal is structured, I can almost afford to replace. I can afford to replace him. Like, okay, he's a people biter. He's this. He's that. He's not working out. He's shy, right? Or he just doesn't show any animalistic traits. Buck City, you know what I'm saying? Call cracking up. See if we could get another dog or something. Okay, let's work that out. But, because you're trustworthy. You're not some little penny pinching guy, right? A little penny pinching motherfucker want to cry about everything. You get more problems, brother. And if you ain't been there, if you haven't been to where people are kicking your door down for your blood, if you haven't been there, if you don't know what that feels like, we won't put a number on it. But if you don't know what that feels like to where you could make your own price, okay? If you haven't experienced that, just say that. But don't try to shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what's around the corner for you if you're lucky. Everybody's not lucky to be able to sell dogs successfully. And I say lucky because anytime you doing what you love to do and you're getting paid for it, that's considered a dream job. Name one successful guy that's successful selling dogs that discourages you from selling dogs and tells you that, oh no, don't sell dogs or you're doing that, you're doing that. Nah, they don't give a fuck because they're in a different space. They're in a different space, brother. It's different. That's all. We just, it's just different, bro. I'm fucking on dimes, you fucking on 2s and 3s, bro. It's it's just different. Different, bro. That shit hit different. I got one phone on 100% and one on 11%. Let's catch this one back up. Smash that like button. El Chicano, what up, brother? He said 3,000 for Mike Blood. Hey, you better believe it. Shit just ain't cheap and it ain't free. It ain't free. It costs to do things. I don't blame nobody for their price. If somebody wanted to charge 5,000 a puppy, I'm not gonna just say, "Oh man, how's he gonna charge that? How's he doing that?" If he's doing everything ethical, you're getting your paperwork, you're getting what you paid for. I don't have no problem with it. Now, if it was a situation to where he's selling them, you're not even getting paperwork for your dogs and shit. You're paying that much money. I don't have a problem with it to where I'm going to stand in the way of the business move. But yeah, that's not a deal that I would do. And if I want to vocally talk about it, then so be it. We got to get out of our feelings, man. That's all I'm saying. J-Bo, what up, brother? Salute to you. Let's get in here, man. Let's get in here. So are these prices going to go up 2026? People going to, because I told you, everybody's not a breeder. If you're going to breed a dog and that's all he's worth is $500 after he's 2 years old, then you're not a breeder. A breeder It's like Picasso, right? He's painting something that's priceless, a masterpiece. He's putting this shit together. He's talking about breedings years and years ahead, planning for the future, setting things up, doing good things, making good deals. You know, that's a breeder. Some people are just in the fucking way, bro. I'm just saying, don't be one of those guys. Breed with intention. The glitter and the gold will come later. Okay? Put in your work. Talked to a dog man last night. He had 54 years in. This will be his 54th year in. 54. 77 years old right now. Okay? It's the dedication, the time that you put in, the grit, the grind, the good times, the bad times, getting fucked over, animal control coming drive by your house, your motherfucking heart drop. Soon as you see that animal control bus hit the block, he ain't even going to your house, but your fucking heart stops damn near. Some of you don't know what that feels like. Animal control done turned this shit into a game. And then we got weirdos that believe everything they say. Well, guess what? Bug City don't believe everything they say. When you got caught up and they put that shit on the news about you, I didn't believe everything they say because I know the game that they play. He said, I love Mike. He said, I fuck with Mike, but let's talk about the influence Ice Day had on him. Hey, man, look, man, serious question. What is it about puppies that command 2,000 to 5,000 price? I understand the blood and the family behind it, but a puppy is a puppy. No accolades, no name, no nothing. Not trolling. Nah, I appreciate the comment, man. Let me star a couple of these. Let me get let me see that Ice Day one. Let me get that Ice Day comment. Let's star a couple of the comments. Leave them comments. If I star them, I'll get back to them. I'll get back to them. You know how we do. Let me find a couple more. Salute, man. Everybody smash that like button. Grab that magazine. Grab that magazine. Grab that mag. You dig? We getting it in. Oh, J-Bo said he got 45 in. Shit, 45 like Jordan when he came back. Salute, J-Bo. 45 in, you know. 45 in, man. That's what's up, man. Been around these dogs, know these dogs. You know, it's important to go through decade after decade after decade, you know, and seeing the dogs, knowing them, knowing what you're looking at. Because that same memory is going to be needed when you're looking at another youngster on a come up, on a rise. You see this, you've seen this before. You've seen this before. You've seen somebody have that money dog, that $1 million dog, that $1 million producer. You know, somebody's going to get him. You don't know what he looks like or who he is, but you recognize that he got something good going on. You know, that's not a time to hate if you're an older guy. That's a time to embrace, like, yeah, brother, you're on the right track. That's the, you know, I want to get you in the car and push you along, and I'm gonna ride beside you just until I see you got it. Okay, this brother got it. All right. And I'm gonna wave you off and hope that you go farther than me with this shit. Carry it on to the next century. We don't own these dogs, right? We're just borrowing them. The bloodline continues. Somebody gets those dogs when we're gone, the bloodline continues. We're just holding them, keeping them in the right hands, preserving the right ones, culling out the ones that are showing traits that are not what we're looking for to pass forward, because we've seen templates. We've seen templates from the 80s, from the 90s, the early 2000s, very important time. Doggers that was around in the early 2000s. I don't want to sweep them under the rug. That was a very troubling, you know, difficult time that we live in. Okay. That's when law enforcement really started cracking down on these dogs, really started going in, knowing what to look for. Okay. Then you got your dog men of today, your COVID dog man, different dog man of today. You make it through the sewage. You build a name. It's more difficult than ever to have a decent yard with enough numbers to be able to sift through and actually cultivate and see, you know, observe. Observation is, I mean, it takes that. You can't do anything. You can't create anything. No facts, no theories, no nothing without observation. So you got to be able to see what it's doing. You got to see it play out. And some of us took those risks to be able to do that. You know, and some people just going to be happy with just slinging dogs for $500. They just go anywhere. You know, who gives a fuck? You feel me? And I forgot to put homie on the screen because this is the Reaper. This guy, this is the Reaper. With that motherfucking drone, because you done sold a $500 puppy, and whoever's bought that puppy had that paperwork in a house, and it was probably there for a drug bust. But just so happened they took the dogs too, because you got this paperwork and all this shit. Now they got your address and they send this guy over there to fly that high-tech ass drone over your shit. Right? Let me monitor this guy. Let me monitor his social media. And this is all while you minding your own business, thinking that your program is going just great. Probably busted a couple jugs, met a couple good people. You guys got a couple breedings planned down the road. Got a bitch in heat. Everything's going smooth. And then the Reaper pulls up in that F-250 truck with all the data and shit all in the back. Look, man, that joint, he's ready. Bulletproof vest, drone. At least make it worth it. If you're going to come get my shit, at least let me make enough money before you get here. That's how I'm looking at it. And everybody's taking a chance. Every motherfucker that sell a puppy is taking a motherfucking chance. I don't give a fuck who you are. Some of us that already took that chance. Some of us out here like prostitutes trying to sell dogs. Oh yeah, man, my dog's just game. Yeah, this $500. Yeah, they game as fuck. Because somebody probably say, man, that they so good. Why you selling for $500? So now you got to get on there like a prostitute and tell him how game your dogs are and how they got mouth and all this shit. Desperation. Desperation, man. It's not good for the breed. Let me see. Okay, he want to know. Hold up. Let me get this. He want to know. Colton, salute to you, brother. The influence Ice Day had on the Michael Myers line. Well, I mean, he is Ice Day. You know, let me get it up here. Because there's a lot of things in that ped that coming through the Ice Day that I believe proves a whole lot what I've been talking about genetic refresh, about not being stagnant, not scared to try different things, and that just a little dab will do you. You know? Let me see. We at that hour. We at that hour. Genetic diversity. Now let's look at Mike's ped. Salute the GOAT. Salute the motherfucking GOAT, man. Let me get the GOAT. Let me get the GOAT up here. Let me get the Gizzo. Let me get the GOAT up here, man. You know that. Always looking up like, boy, what? You know, he got his ear up, looking like, you know, about that life, boy. About that life. Everything, man, you will want in a dog, man. The attitude, everything, just, you know, he brought it. He brought everything. He wasn't playing no games either, you know, absolutely none. He was what it was. You could tell, you can just tell. He reminded me of when I first saw Grand Champion Snaps for the first time, and I was just looking at him, and I was like, damn, this dog is a machine, you know, like, damn, this dog is a machine. And this is how I felt about this dog. I still got on my garage door, I still got these footprints of him. Because when he go out of a door, he'll get on his back legs, he'll be up in the air, and then he'll use his arms to pull out of the door. Like he's trying to pull himself out of the door, like you're not going fast enough, you know, basically. You know, he was that type of dog. So there was a little paw print on the door and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's still there. That means I ain't sprayed my garage down, as one side needs it. But you know, just reminiscing, man. You always got to reminisce about these dogs. You know, a lot of us can't really reminisce too much about them $500 dogs, because they didn't give a fuck about him in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But so ice cream, man. Oh, you said ice day. Let me say, okay, ice day. Okay. So well, I was thinking more like the ice cream, but the Apache blood, I mean, it's the influence is gonna be that it's adding more um Hollingsworth Dolly. So this would be Mayday's half brother right here. And then the Apache dog is gonna give you just a plethora of good Red Boy Jocko stuff with the well, actually, yeah, the Apache, and then you got Apache Junior. He's double bred Apache. Um, he's giving you a lot of that good blood. Um, a little bit of the Turtle Buster back there through the Fargo dog. It's got some Turtle Buster back there. Diversifies it a little bit, makes that dog able to be who he is. You see that, you got the Red Boy Jocko, the Bolio Tombstone, all in there. How they do, the Anderson Rolls and all those dogs, how they were breeding those dogs, and then you got the little bit right there that's gonna throw that that Turtle Buster in there. And then, but me personally, I think it was the whole deal with the ice cream dog, and then this dog, because you're getting all the Vernon Whitley blood down there, which I respect a lot. Um, you're doing, even though Red Boy and Outlaw, they have brothers or whatever, allegedly or whatever. People, I like to believe that. And if they're not related, that's even proves my point even more that the outcross is going to favor the better dogs in the long run. Of course, you want to have it tight enough, like this Carolina Rolls, and they're tightening up on this, throwing the Red Boy back up in there. You got the Metlins right there, but they're gonna cross it when as soon as they get a chance to cross it with the Red Boy Jocko, keeping a lot of the distant relative Red Boy stuff, half brother Red Boy stuff, crossing it with the straight Red Boy that was crossed with the Jocko stuff. So I just think it was a good move. It makes the dog tighter on Mayday, but he's not pure on Red Boy Jocko Bolio Tombstone. He has a little judicious amount of different genes in there, different dogs in there that's gonna create better outcomes. And you see why the dogs, they still haven't really got to that point where they're just like a shell of themselves. They still are able to be athletic. They're still able to have the good form and function and all of that good stuff, and they'll be able to sustain it longer. And that's why I think Ronald Boyle's his dogs were able to stand the test of time for a long time, because he understood that just following a trend is not going to get you farther than creating your trend. So that's what I've always been doing. Certain breedings, I don't even need credit for it. Certain breedings, certain dog men, they've copied my crosses. I've done, maybe it takes 20 years, or maybe I need to be gone, and some young dude's gonna get up here and talk about how I used to do it and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna, talk about what I used to do. But there was a lot of trends that's in the dogs today that I started. There's a lot of dogs, there's a lot of people are running dogs a certain way, and those were the crosses that I put together, and I was the first to do certain crosses. So hey man, it goes into it, man. Let's see. Serious question. Okay, about what the pup command 2,000, 5,000 price. He said no accolades, just a puppy. Well, see, this is what it is. It's see, in that 2,000, 5,000. Rather, if you pay 2,000 or 5,000, that puppy's supposed to be priceless when he's done. I have sold plenty of dogs to people. You can ask 7-8 Sports TV. He got Doc Holliday. I bet you if you ask him how much is that dog worth to him, he'll say more than 5,000. You know, I don't know if he'll say it's worth more than 10,000. As a matter of fact, I got an idea that he'll probably say he's priceless to him. You know, and when you're able to put a number on it, like if it's just a $2,000 dog when it's full grown, and that's all that dog is worth, because his bloodline isn't shit. It's not producing shit. There's no family members that's shit. Nothing. It's nothing. That means that blood is not hitting on nothing. So if he's only worth $2,000 full grown, I feel like I have failed as a breeder. And that's I've sold you something uh that didn't live up to the expectations. So what makes my dog at 2,000 to 5,000 worth more is because I'm selling you a priceless dog at that point, which meaning that dog is going to grow up to be a good dog, to exceed his value. Okay. An old timer, I used to like him. He used to always say, worth his weight in gold, worth his weight in gold, and that's a priceless dog that you wouldn't take anything for. I've been offered 10,000 for Iceman 3 or 4 times. I've been offered uh 5,000 for Hannibal. I've been offered this type of shit, and it never crossed my mind to just sell out, because I always knew that dog was worth way more than that. Even if I want to breed the dog, he's just worth way more than that. Like whatever you're trying to get, and I don't have to get tire kicked. If I breed Hannibal the right way, yeah, they're gonna be all over those for 2, 3,000, automatically. If they're knocking your door down for them, then they must need them. I think the necessity comes of it. Those $500 dogs, nobody needs them, right? It ain't no Pierre Bolio shit. It ain't no Pierre Garner shit. It ain't nothing that people would look at and need. It ain't no pure red boy dog going for that low. It ain't no pure Mayday dog going that low. It's just a scatterbred fucking mutt that somebody slapped together, and that shit, and you don't know what the fuck is going to do, because you probably didn't repeat that breeding. Okay. 9 times out of 10, the guy that's selling the $500 puppy, he never did that breeding before, so actually it is worth 500, because it's an actual crapshoot that you don't even know these family of dogs. You haven't bred them together, you know or you just trying to get a couple dollars and shit, but you're not understanding that you're fucking up the game, because you're putting those dogs in other hands of people that is probably not going to do the right thing. They're probably going to get on social media talking reckless. They're probably going to be doing this. They're probably going to be doing that. So, well, everything is true and everybody can do what they want to do. We don't want to stop people from doing what they want to do now, but you do have to look at it from another perspective, other than somebody's just hating because they're trying to sell puppies or something. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at it a little bit different than that. That's all. You got to. Mm. He said there's no such thing as a first cross to be done. Yeah, if you're looking at the back of the pedigree, Ronald, you're right, brother. You're right. There's nothing different. But see, I don't look at that. I look at particular dogs, right? We're past this. We're past all this shit back here, bruh. You know, I'm looking at particular dogs. So if I'm crossing a particular dog that I believe is who I'm rolling with, and I cross him to something and nobody has done that, and then you start seeing people getting those particular dogs off of that dog I'm talking about, and then they start crossing it to dogs like that, then bro, you can't tell me this shit. I'm a wizard when it comes to these dogs, bro. I'm not just one of those YouTube dudes getting up here. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not. I know what I'm talking about. You know, I try to spin it in a good way and, make it entertaining. And, I talk shit and, I try to, give you that homie, we smoking dro and shit, but I know my shit. And so you're right and I'm right. Respectfully. You dig? Anyway, get that magazine, y'all. Get that magazine, support what we got going on. The link is in the bio. All the links are in the bio. You can hit me up if you got a story, or you just want to hit me up and let me know, or ask me what's going on. You want to be involved with some stuff, let me know. I'm like an open book. And you know what I'm saying? He said, but you got to tell them everybody ain't buck, so they're gonna have to get the $300 pup because they not that level. Nah, man. Look, J-Bo, I told people, it took me, because I was in the game. I've been in these dogs since I was a kid. But when I say that I really got serious and bought dogs with papers, like this dog actually has papers. Like I had Niggerino dogs, I had Kobe dogs. We had dogs, bro. We had wild side dogs. My partner, his dad was breeding a bunch of Carver dogs with boomerang dogs. You know what I'm saying? That he was so the dogs was around, but I could say, when I got serious with the dogs was at that point. And then so I marked that point right there. I went 17 years without selling one single puppy before I came and sold my puppy to the public, bro. And it was based on how those puppies did in those other people's hands and how they loved what I was putting out effortlessly. It was effortlessly, like Stephen Curry, right? With the curry chicken in this motherfucker. 140 ingredients, whipping that shit up. Okay. And so you start to see, it's like, damn, my prices, you kind of find your way in. Your balloon soars and then you land here. But all this experience, all of that trial and error, all of those years of knowing how to find that good dog, knowing how to be a shark. I told y'all about this. Some people didn't have that concept. A lot of dog men, they say they're not a breeder, and I listen to them because don't come at me with this breeding shit. You could ask questions, but you said you wasn't a breeder. So at this point, you got to respect my mind as a breeder, right? I never said I wasn't a breeder. I said I inspired to be the best breeder ever. That's what I inspired to be. Remember? I didn't sign up to be second place. Remember? Do you remember this shit? So I'm not going to stop trying to create the best dogs ever. He said you got a puppy slot in the buck in the mag buck. What you mean puppy slot, Don Snow? Like some pups that you can go get in there? Yeah, there's we got studs in there. We got there's puppies in there. There's kennels that you could reach out to. Everybody's been vetted, 99, just like some Lysol, 99%, it's just good business, good people, good business. If that's what you're looking for, those magazines, that's what they're going to be for. So people can the resources that we're going to be putting in there, some of the information that we put on these podcasts, it's going to still be in there, but there's going to be more information in there to where at first, I'm not going to lie, I wanted it to be like a historical thing, but and like a nostalgia thing. But now that we've been cooking, and now that I see that, there's still a lot of things that we're missing out. So I want it to be more of a necessity. I want it to be more of a textbook. You go in there and you're learning shit. There's probably going to be 20 different fucking subjects in this next one. And you're going to be able to get a good read about all 20 different subjects, 3 or 4 different kind of worms, parvo, motherfucking this, motherfucking that. And it's going to be in my tone to where, you can definitely understand what we're talking about. Right. It's a lot of times you get the information for somebody that's not like you. They haven't been where you've been, and it's hard for them to understand what you're saying. So, or it's hard for you to understand what they're saying. Let me correct that. Uh, but nah, we're gonna get it in, man. I want it to be a necessity thing. Yeah, you can cash out for volume 1 and 2. And then if you want volume 3, you have to get it on Amazon. Amazon.com. Go to Amazon.com, type in APBT magazine. It should pop up. If it doesn't, just put APBT magazine volume 3 and it should pop straight up. It's real quick and easy. That's for volume 3. If you want volume 1 and 2, just cash app. You can cash app it now. It's all good. It's all good, man. Hey, we had a good show, man. Hey, Floyd Bujo, man, stay strong. Stay strong. You know, um, a lot of us will dream to be able to live that long. I think they said he was 88 or he is 80 in his 80s or something. I had I had Cece when I was 42. He's 3 now. And one thing, having that child late in the game, it gave me a new perspective about life. And I was obligated to try to give him, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? I want to give CC, 40 years. So, the old OGs that's making it up into their 80s, man. Salute to y'all, man. We need to be listening to y'all, and so we can learn how to live and enjoy life and handle stress and different things like that. Maybe it's some eating habits, or maybe you exercise a certain time, or you do something. That's some of the knowledge that a young man really can't give you. You got to be somebody that's been up through there, that can give you that type of information. So use all your resources, and share the knowledge when you get it with others, because it builds a better community overall. You dig? RIP Ronald Boyles. RIP. Hold up, brother. Let me see. I'm gonna drop it here. Let me see. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. There it is. I'm gonna put it in the let me put it in the chat too. Put it in the Chizat. If you want to, yeah, one and two, you can get on Cash App, and the other ones you can't. Well, the other one. We got another one coming in maybe 2 weeks. It's something different. I don't want to say what it is right now. It's going to be extremely reasonably priced compared to the APBT magazine. And I hope you guys enjoy. It'll be something for Christmas. Let me see. I'm gonna plug it here too. It's at the bottom of the screen scrolling, or I'm gonna plug it here. Hold on. Oh, it's acting funny. You need both, okay. I need to hit Pitwise up. I got a magazine filled out with all his info on it, but I'm not sure if he already got it, or I'm not sure. That's crazy. I found it on I cleaned my desk off. And let me see. Here we go. There go the link. It should be in there. You should be able to hit it. Nah, yeah. Now I get it in, man. Look, I grew up in a rough household, man, so this shit talking, bro, we used to do this shit just for the fuck of it. Like, we used to talk this much shit on the way to church, like it didn't matter. It didn't matter, man. Me and my brothers and sisters, you can't talk shit about us if you ain't us, but we talk shit about each other, bro. So I'm a little hard, but I feel like that's gonna separate me from other kennels. It's gonna make me leave my lasting impression. And guess what? It's effortless because I'm being who I am. Now I could get up here and put a suit on and try to act like I'm somebody I'm not, but that won't last long because that's not me. So this is who I am. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. I try to clean up a lot of shit in life. I try to help out the community. I still got a stack of clothes that I'm gonna go give to the homeless. On Thanksgiving, I was like, man, let me just go through my closet and just grab a nice, handful of stuff that I'm just never gonna wear again. Maybe somebody can enjoy that. A couple pair of shoes, about 6, 7 pair of pants, 8, 9 shirts. You know what I'm saying? A couple beanies. They got a little bit of lint balls on them. Couple, my little beanies I be wearing and shit. You know what I'm saying? They clean, but got some lint balls. It's gonna help somebody be warm though. So as long as we got good people in this world, it doesn't matter if they're politically correct about everything or if they talk, with a certain tone or what I'm saying, as long as there's good people that care about the community and care about the children and care about tomorrow, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Gonna be all right. ABBT, yeah, APBT worldwide. Hey, that's where we at, man. Worldwide. Salute everybody in other countries watching the show, checking us out, rocking with us every morning, or not every morning live, but you could rock with me because I got enough videos to hold you over just in case. We got long ones, 5-hour ones, If you one of them truck drivers, you got a 4-hour drive, 7-hour drive. We got 12-hour live streams, 10-hour live streams. Go check our catalog out. You know, when you get enough time, go check our catalog out. And the reason why we did those live streams is because I got my truckers that drive cross country, and they might need a good laugh. These arguments and people talking shit back and forth, calling in. He won't call in. He's a custer face. We need that. It's good entertainment. It's good entertainment. This $500 puppy shit, bro. This shit don't make or break me, brother. My shit ain't going for that. If one of my guys feel like it's okay to sell shit that cheap, bro, that's a slap in the face, brother. You know, that's just how I feel, because I want somebody that gives a fuck. You know, there's plenty of dudes that got a couple dogs and now they don't pay for dogs at all. Ask around. It's called an initiation fee, bro. You know, that's how we're going to get this relationship going. First of all, you're going to show me that you're a man of your word and you're not a tire kicker. That's how you get past the first layer. And then you show me that you can provide and do right by the dog. Okay. And then the door is open from there. Right. So that little 5,000, that could last you a lifetime, brother, because you're going to have a lifetime supply of dogs that you can't pay 5,000 for. Right. This Buck City. I'm out.
Crazy. Pay attention, keep your eyes open. Be the ones next to you. Yeah, they'll fall on you. Yank God, fell in love with it. Jumped off the porch in it. Got dope in different spots and I be all through the city. I can feel it in my veins. I be whipping cocaine. Watch it lock in the pot. My niggas smoking propane. Let the porridge cool down. Water running in the sink. Man, I love to cook dope. I don't even think I blink. So many niggas in a way. They gon' make the ship sink. I done seen niggas fold. Tell stories to police. I got caught with the blicky. 2 times it get tricky. Took a case for my bros. Felt like they wasn't with me. Niggas run when it get sticky. Do it moving and get busy. Man, I know that I was trapping hard. I know what come with it. Gotta stick and move your own mans. Turn into a whip. My own homie set me up. Try to pull a okey doke. Put them in a chokehold. Standing on my 10 toes. They be the closest ones to you. In the end, they just fold. Fell in love with it. Jumped off the porch in it. Got dope in different spots and I be all through the city. I can feel it in my veins. I be whipping cocaine. Watch it lock in the pot. My niggas smoking propane.
These niggas goofy. Always trying to be like the next nigga. Like your shit don't stink. Go tell that shit to somebody else, cause I ain't buying that shit. You could gas them goofies up, not me. I could give a fuck. All that bullshit cap, that goofy shit don't faze me, cause I know who I am. You could tell them lies to them niggas that don't know me. But when I come around, I'm like they OG. Nigga ran it up and I ain't even been out 2 weeks. Insomnia, I got a money demon on me. Nigga, I can't sleep. When they came and got me from that last spot, I thought it was OV. Niggas always crying about this and that. I ain't worried about it. I took my lick on the chin like a man.
Fell in love with it. Jumped off the porch in it. Got dope in different spots and I be all through the city. I can feel it in my veins. I be whipping cocaine. Watch it lock in the pot. My niggas smoking propane.
Live too fast, ain't no such thing too fast.
Drop too fast, move too fast, live too fast, ain't no such thing as too fast.
Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast,
Too fast, live too fast, ain't no such thing as too fast.
I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Telling me I move fast, but I think you move slow. Time waits for no man. Gotta get that new dough. Just dropped off the last batch. I got a new loaf. Had to double back cause he called and needed 2 more. Maybe I be driving too fast for that guap. It's coming in too fast. I pray it don't stop. Cause I was on the bottom, gotta climb to the top. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now I'm handy on the block. I came up off the rock like Sean. I'm a whole lobster, y'all prawns. You fucking with a king, y'all pawns. And for that 25, you get that Barry Bonds. Cause people say I drive too fast, too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for. Hey, move, bitch, get up out my way like Luda. Carpool lane by myself for the Gouda. One twitch, you could get black by a shooter. Real fast, come up in your house like an intruder. Drive 110 in the 60. Hand over that money first, you ain't about to jit me. Gotta keep that blick on my lap cause it get tricky. Keep both eyes open in these streets cause it get iffy. I need them blue avatars. Nigga, what you travel for? I was moving fast, shopping in that travel lodge. Or that days in, waiting till them days in. I'm blessed I made it this far, this shit's amazing. But people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. Money's always on my mind, so I'ma get it. And if it makes sense, then you know I'm down with it. Cause people say I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast. I got it coming in like Usain Bolt. You want that dope? You gon' get what you pay for.
I drive too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast.
Drop fast, move too live too fast. Ain't no such thing too fast.